All right. Hi, I'm Patrick Mannion, editor with the E-Times, and I'm here at the Embedded Systems Conference, San Jose, and I'm joined by Jason Wolf, Vice President for Better Place North America. And Jason just gave a fantastic rundown of what's happening with electric vehicles here globally and here in the US, as well as primarily Israel as well. Jason, what's going on with EV in general?
Thanks, Patrick. Good to be here. EVs in general, we see them as inevitably the thing that's going to replace the gasoline vehicle.
Right.
And as proof for that, we have ordered 100,000 vehicles from our partner Renault for the first two markets that we're launching next year, with 100,000 going to Israel and Denmark over the next 5 years.
That's phenomenal. What's the main deal with that? How much is that worth to you?
Well, we've not publicly spoken about the pricing and the costing of that, but if you know our model, which basically brings a network of charge spots, switching stations,
right,
software within these Renaults, and an operation that provides service to customers in the form of mileage, you will understand that we're looking to displace the gasoline vehicle, so it has to be cost-effective, affordable, convenient for people to replace their main cars.
Now, people have been talking about this for some time, but I guess your main difference is that you're taking the battery out of the car and that you're going to make the battery part of the infrastructure versus part of the car. Is that correct?
That is correct. The battery today is about a third to half of the price of the car. The rest of the components are pretty much as cheap or cheaper than the existing gasoline car. So ownership of the battery allows us to do a couple of things. Of course, reduce the cost, which puts more people in the car, but also allows us to optimize the length of that battery's life, the utilization of that battery, because it's part of the infrastructure. So we can put the smarts across that to maximize the value of the most expensive asset.
I guess one aspect too with the EV model is that in the end you end up pushing the source of the power around, right? And the battery still has to be charged by electricity. Where do you recommend that extra electricity come from?
So as Better Places mentioned, we believe in a carbon neutral energy source. So we're not looking to displace the fuel from the tailpipe to put it into coal or oil, right, but we're looking for cleaner energy sources, which means a few things with these types of vehicles. You can access a lot of clean energy already, and statistics show that even in the US, 73% of the lightweight fleet could be displaced today without adding one more generation asset. So there's the capacity, but the beauty of this type of technology and system is that the batteries can store and they can shift the energy from when it's produced to when it's needed. Most of us don't drive our cars at night, and the load is very low, so the assets that generate energy at night are underutilized. Right. So it becomes a great complement to these initiatives that are driving more and more renewables, because they make them productive. They make those assets that, when we can't control it, most of it blows at night. Right. We can put that into the batteries and use that energy rather than creating more energy with dirty sources.
I'm curious, as you use oil in the car, the weight of the car decreases because you're using the oil, so the weight of the oil actually gets converted to energy, and then the weight goes down over time. But the weight of the battery stays the same. How do you reconcile that? And does the efficiency decrease or stay the same versus oil?
Well, that's actually a beautiful question, because it really made me think, because when you think about it, it shows why this is such a great model, because what we're transferring is we're not burning material like you are in the car. Right. In the combustion engine, you're burning things, you're sending pollution out, you're depleting a resource that is limited. With a battery, all you're transferring is the energy, the electrons, and they don't have much weight. Right. So as the battery gets depleted, the weight difference is not that large. So it's actually a really interesting way to look at it and explain why it's such a great model. Because now I've only transferring electricity, which is the most efficient way to transfer the energy. And over time, there might be some marginal change in the weight, but it's definitely not significant.
Interesting. Do you have one of the big hurdles with alternative energy issues is both the generation, distribution, and storage of energy, right? Do you have any recommendations for improving the distribution network for electricity?
So I think that there's a lot of things that are going on the distribution side, but what's clear from Better Places' perspective is that having mass storage, if you've you've got 1 million vehicles with a 25 kilowatt hour battery that are connected at 3 to 5 kilowatt, you've got 3 to 5 gigawatts of power to play with or to balance the entire network. So just having that with smart systems like ours that communicate to all these batteries is a major advantage.
Very good. We're here at the Embedded Systems Conference, of course, and our engineers here are all trying to find the next big opportunity. How do you see the opportunities arising, or where do you see the opportunities arising within the space for them to better capitalize upon their skill sets?
I think there's tremendous opportunities. As I mentioned in the keynote, we're looking at the connected vehicle as the third major platform. Platforms, one being the PC, two the mobile phone. They support us where we sit, where we work, where we walk around. The last frontier, as you will, is the car, because that is where we don't have a connected device. So as we move ahead, that device will now become connected, which means there's opportunities for innovation on the charge spots, which has embedded, on the switching station, which has embedded, on the batteries themselves, on the vehicles, in the communication to the back office controlling of these vehicles. That entire system is all ripe for innovation, and which will bring down the costs on everything, and it will increase the usage for people and fleets or other people that use these systems. And to us, if we're starting at a point where it's competitive with the incumbent oil ecosystem of transportation, that is our starting point, it means that the opportunities, I've never seen opportunities this big in the 20 years that I've been around IT or other industries.
It's a gold mine out there, right?
I wouldn't say it's only the gold mine. I think the opportunity here is there. There is money there, of course, to be made. But the great thing of it is that we're doing this and we're cleaning up the atmosphere. We're cleaning up our geopolitical issues with oil. It's the most exciting thing that I've ever witnessed. And if my kid, who's 11 today, in 6 years' time, when she gets to drive, if she can go only to a museum to drive a combustion engine car, I will not be sad.
I have one more final question. One of our participants inside asked about the issues associated with the wireless interface, right? That you have you're sending your cars out to many regions, and all of which have their own proprietary wireless interface. Could this be an opportunity for software-defined radio to be implemented in automobiles?
Yeah, there's opportunities in a lot of those things. You have to look for the cheapest way to communicate under the boundary condition of having effective communication. Safety, energy management, directions, and other services that drivers need. They need all those things. And then there's communication to the human interface, to the drivers, but there's also communication between these systems. And there's a lot of opportunity here to innovate and to create different solutions for different markets based on what they have locally.
One more final question. What are the main battery technologies out there that you're really excited about?
Well, on the battery side, we've got the current breed of lithium-ion, which is promising. It's proven that we can build a business on it. So it's already the good enough technology to get going.
Yeah.
The amazing thing is, early days when you talked about mobile connectivity and things like that, you've got so many different companies that we're watching out there that are promising 2x, 3x, 50%, 30%. We know a lot of them might not make it. But if just a fraction of them make these breakthroughs, we can see parts of what Moore's Law did in electronics happen on the energy storage side.
I'm backing you all the way. Nice job, Jason.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay.
Thanks, Patrick.
Take care.
Thanks.
And this is Patrick Mannion from RE Times signing off from Embedded Systems Conference, and thank you for joining us.